Most Christians think the battle with sin means they're losing their salvation. But according to the Bible, that's not necessarily true. Because if you ever thought, why am I still struggling like this? Why am I not past this now? Would a real Christian still deal with this? You're not the first person to ask those questions. You're not crazy. Watch this shift. Paul asked similar questions, and he wasn't writing as an unbeliever. He was writing to Christians living in Rome and said this in Romans chapter 7, verse 15. For I do not understand my own actions, for I do not do what I want, but I do the very thing I hate. Paul hated sin. There was a war happening inside of him, and dead people don't fight wars. People who don't belong to Christ don't grieve sin. They're comfortable with making peace with it. So if you find yourself fighting, grieving, confessing, repenting, and longing to please God, the battle itself may be evidence that God is working on you. Yes? Because sin doesn't only look like the obvious things. Sometimes it looks like being consumed with work because slowing down makes you uncomfortable. Constantly checking your bank account because money has become your security. Refreshing your Zillow every night because you've convinced yourself that life can't begin until you have a house. Trying to control every detail because trusting God feels harder than managing everything yourself. Looking for validation through productivity because being still makes you feel worthless. Getting irritated with your family because your plans became interrupted. Wanting recognition to serve others and feeling disappointed when no one else notices. Okay, last one. Saying you trust God while secretly believing everything depends on you. I'm talking to me. Paul finishes by saying in verse 24 through 25, "Wretched man that I am, who will deliver me from this body of death? Thanks be to God through Jesus Christ our Lord." Christianity is not pretending that the battle doesn't exist. It's about learning to fight by God's grace. You can save this and you can share it. God hasn't changed and his word hasn't changed.